Life is a book. We all have our storylines, plots, and characters, which fill numerous chapters documenting the many events of our life. It's in the writing of these chapters that creates our own unique narrative. The Electric Cooperative Youth Tour and Youth Leadership Council gave me a chance to begin writing a new chapter in my book. It's a story of experiences that happen once in a lifetime. The setting of the story is Washington, D.C., the epicenter of our democracy. While in Washington, D.C., I embraced freedom on Capitol Hill and gained a greater understanding of the electric cooperative system. We started our tour as any visitor would, sightseeing. We gazed at the majesty of the nation's capital with its dazzling collection of memorials and monuments to great leaders. These sights increased my understanding of how we have grown as a nation. I knew that these chapters of my youth tour book would reflect the true meaning of America. Turning the pages of my story, I observed Abraham Lincoln's face staring into the U.S. Capitol, where his vision during the Civil War ensured that our country remained united. Whistling my way to the World War II Memorial, I was silenced by the gold stars that stood so bold, symbolizing the true price of freedom. Each of the 4,000 gold stars represents the valiant men and women who gave their lives during that great war. Later, walking the expanse of the Smithsonian Museums and the National Archives, we saw the very documents that created the American story all of us here share. We beheld the documents containing the fundamental beliefs of our nation. My story continues with more exciting experiences and activities. At the Capitol Hill, I saw procedures of our government by witnessing Congress in session and be able to meet with senators. I was able to view history in the making, writing one more page in our nation's book. Electric cooperatives took great risks to help rural America in the 1930s obtain electricity. They published earlier chapters in the history book, changing our nation as we now know it. The cooperatives represented here at this meeting of the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association continues to write pages in our nation's history book by following the 7 cooperative principles. These principles have added character to our nation's story. I have discovered these principles by witnessing cooperation among cooperatives of the YLC members standing right here beside me. We, youth across the nation, each represent a state and local electric cooperative. My local electric cooperative, Maquoketa Valley Electric Cooperative, has demonstrated a strong commitment to educate youth about the cooperative system. They continue to send youth tour participants annually on the youth tour. Electric cooperatives occupy a significant part in my home state, Iowa. I couldn't imagine Iowa without electric cooperatives, which serve in our ever-growing communities. When my parents built our house, there's a cornfield right next door. But the growing popularity of subdivisions altered our landscape. I am living in a town where change is rapidly occurring. Stores and restaurants with grand opening signs are commonplace. The world isn't going to stop changing. As Charles Darwin noted, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. Electric cooperatives have responded to that change by showing concern for the communities they serve. The issues of climate change and rising energy costs are challenging my generation. Electric cooperatives across the country are educating members about preserving energy and offering members ways to make their communities a better place to live. In these ever-changing times, electric cooperatives continue to inspire their authors to write new pages for their personal and their country's narrative. The youth tour showed me that electric cooperatives are the forefront, educating their members and finding solutions to improve our nation. Imagine 1,500 young adults from all across America traveling to Washington, D.C. because of an opportunity provided by their local cooperative. We are able to learn, to see, to experience, to feel, and to develop our own character, a character of the nation's in the spirit of the nation's capital, the great country we live in, which will enrich the chapters of each student's story. As President Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, the generation of Americans has a rendezvous with destiny. My destiny was made possible by the Youth Tour and the Youth Leadership Council. I have a great understanding of our political system and a greater concern for my community. I take with me the experiences and the inspiration from my fellow Youth Leadership Council members who are motivated, like those who went before them, to make a difference. I would like to extend my gratitude to the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, the Iowa Association of Electric Cooperatives, and the Coconut Valley Electric Cooperative. And thank you, the electric cooperative leaders here in this audience who have helped write a chapter in our Youth Leadership Council book and in the greater story of our nation. Thank you.